Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide, and today we are going to be discussing the news that some of you have heard, some of you may have not. It has to do with not the A5X, it has to do with the A5X2. So originally A5X2 was scheduled to be released for Q1 of 2024, and since we are now approaching April, it is becoming very relevant, and unfortunately there has been a delay. So Supernote Rata have issued an official update on the Reddit channel, so I'm going to go through that one and basically offer my impressions and comments and what can we infer from these things as I go along. So let's start. Alright, so their response or their announcement was update on the development of A5X2. We greatly appreciate the immense interest in the A5X2, the next generation of our classic-sized A5X product. In the spirit of transparency, we would like to provide an update of its progress to our valued community, which is a nice thing to have. First and foremost, Supernote is not a brand that seeks attention by constantly releasing new products. Ooh, what a burn! We take great care with each generation of our products, striving for true innovation, which inevitably brings some uncertainty to the development timeline. The groundbreaking concepts we introduced with the Supernote Nomad, or the A6X2, that's a bit of a confusion thing, have set a high standard for the A5X2, and we simply cannot afford to be perfunctory. I actually appreciate this type of candor really a lot, because especially coming from the video game industry, I'm like sick and tired of seeing products that are unfinished be released, and then it's like, especially when it's software related stuff, it's like, we'll just patch it up later. And that to me is glaringly obvious in the video game industry, and it's basically a shameful practice. And unfortunately we do get to see it in the hardware industry as well, where the software side of it basically has that same approach. What I do appreciate about this is basically that they are trying, at the very least, to do the best they can with the release of the A5X2. So I would much rather have something come later and be properly done than not, right? So let's continue. We were overly optimistic about releasing the A5X2 in the first quarter. The sellout of the A5X and the limited availability of the Nomad due to higher than expected demand, as well as a newly cooperated supply chain, have placed significant pressure on us. However, our confidence and commitment remain unwavering because we believe in our product and deeply value the unwavering support of Supernote's dedicated community. So yeah, that's a combined kind of a thing. We do have the excellent news that the Supernote Nomad, or the A6X2, was a bigger success than they had anticipated. Unfortunately, that then leads to a sellout, which for a small team is always a problem because they're not going to be agile in reacquiring a supply chain and all of that kind of stuff, because there's prioritizations and things like that. But it's interesting to actually see that my impression and Brandon's impression and Kit's impression of the A6X2 and the community's impression of the A6X2 is a positive one. So that's a good thing to see. And I mean, if they manage to deliver that kind of a device for the A6 format, then take your time to make sure that the successor to the excellent A5X, that the A5X2 is equally knock out of the park thing, kind of thing. So that's going to be nice. Now, during the prototyping phase of the A5X2, we carefully evaluated multiple models and have now finalized the product's shape, which will be expedited to the next stage. We are thrilled to share some confirmed exciting new features of the A5X2, and boy oh boy exciting they are. The first one of which is the screen will boast 300 PPI and be slightly larger in size than its predecessor, which is quite interesting to kind of see. slightly larger than its predecessor. What does that mean? Because it's a 10.3 standard, so what's going to be 10.4 or 10.32? I don't know, but it's going to have a 300 PPI screen, and that's actually cool because those are the really new panels which are faster and more responsive, so that's pretty sweet to see. Next, compared with its predecessor, it will adopt a semi-folio design for a lighter overall weight, greatly improving the convenience of holding and carrying across different usage scenarios. I'm not really sure what does that mean, semi-folio design for a lighter overall weight. I really don't know, but that seems to indicate that it might not be this type of a traditional, flipbook cover. And it might also mean that maybe the cover is going to be like either magnetically or maybe in some way a part of a design. I'm not really sure. So that one, I can only begin to guess, but I don't have any certainty to kind of visualize this, and that's an exciting thing to see because it's genuinely like a very different approach to what they had before. That can be a good thing or a bad thing, but at the very least it is exciting. And finally, sharing the motherboard with the Supernote Nomad or the A5X2 will notably reduce uncertainty, and that is a very important point and a very smart business decision, because now you also have like 300 PPI on both devices, which greatly makes things a lot simpler for the development and the deployment of the different OS versions, because they have to take into consideration different PPI and scaling and all that kind of stuff. So that's actually really nice to see, but on a much bigger level, on a hardware level and everything, it's the same device, right? Exactly the same device. So does that mean that if it's sharing the same exact motherboard, that the location of the SD card is going to be also so on the A5X2 as well? Well, remains to be seen. But at the very least, it means that most likely the A5X2 will also have the SD card slot and expandability, because the Nomad or the A6X2 already has that. So that's pretty cool too. And finally, our next challenge is to prepare the structure and production as swiftly as possible, aiming for an expected release date of May to June. We are eager to provide the community with sneak peeks of product design concept images in the near future. Stay tuned. All right, so it is a delay, but so far it doesn't seem like it's a huge delay. It remains to be seen if they are being, again, overly optimistic in trying to hit May and June, or is this their adjusted timeline with the optimism plugged into the equation, and then they actually get that one? Because realistically, that's not such a huge delay. If you take a look at it, it's like 2-3 month delay for a brand new product that on a bigger scale of things, that's really not a big deal. As far as I'm concerned, if they're working on nailing it to be like super kind of tight and correct. So yeah, there we go. That's the update, and that's the news that we got on the A5X2, what we can expect. I'm really happy that we do have the confirmation of the 300 PPI screen on the Supernote X2, A5X2, and that we already know how it's going to behave because of the Supernote Nomad, because it shares the motherboard. And also I'm really curious, I'm very now curious about what does it mean, that semi-folio design. Is it going to be like the Kobo Ellipsa 2 that has that kind of folding thing? I don't know. That's going to be something to look forward to see. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this approach, how their approach is regarding the announcement and transparency. Do you like that? Do you don't like that? Do you care about that? Do you don't care about that? Is this a big delay in your opinion or not? And also, what do you think about these confirmations about the A5X2? Most importantly, do you have any idea what the semi-folio design for lightweight purposes might be? Because I sure as heck don't. So I'm interested to hear your opinion and your ideas. I hope that you liked the video and that you found it informative and useful. If you did, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell in the description below to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. And also do remember to check out mydeepguide.com/shop, where you can find MDO and MMP. Both are hyperlinked PDF organizer type of files. One is your yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily organizer, MDO, My Daily Organizer, and MMP is a My Deep Guide meeting planner document that helps you centralize, simplify, and organize all of your meeting planning needs. More information you can find about both of these products in their dedicated video playlist links that are in the description below, and then you can see, hey, this is a product for me or not. Whatever you choose to do, know that the purchasing of either of these products directly helps support the independence of My Deep Guide, and that is highly, highly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.